Yeah, welcome everybody. So we are live. So just yesterday, last night, and also this morning, lots of new information about Tesla's Optimus bot. Elon and Tesla dropped a brand new video. We all know that they dropped a video yesterday of Tesla, the Optimus bot dancing, but then Tesla AI dropped another extended video. We'll play that for you, 40 seconds long. The bot can do a lot more than we thought, can dance a lot better than we thought. And then we've also got comments from Elon, several comments, as well as many of the Tesla AI teams. We'll go through that together. We've got Hans Nelson joining us today as well. Hans can explain to us what it means when they say that they've got sim to real, zero shot, and exactly what it is that is special about what they've dropped today. So let's start off with this video. Initially they gave us a teaser. It was just a 6-second teaser of the Optimus bot dancing, but then they dropped this one, a 40-second teaser. Let's watch that. I'll take off the music. Yeah. All right, so this is the bot dancing. I'll turn off the music here. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. You saw the back there for the first time.
Yeah, and quite acrobatic, a lot of the moves. This is a lot simpler, but the thing that you immediately take away from this is that all of these dance moves, they're whole body moves. We got elbows, we got shoulders, we got hips, we got knees, we got ankles, we got toes. You're twisting about the center line. Every single axis and joint of movement, pretty much except the hands, is involved in doing all these. And the coordination is perfect. The bot's not falling. I don't know what exactly the material is on the bottom of the feet, but it looks like he's got pretty good traction. And, all of this shows just the progress that Tesla is making on this. And obviously, so I think that this is something that Tesla has probably been able to do this kind of stuff for a little bit. I think we'll get into some of the commentary later, but one of the other things to notice is that on all of these videos, so yesterday when we saw the video of the dance moves, there was kind of a safety harness that it wasn't holding the bot up, and it could catch it. Whereas this stuff, there's no safety harness or restraint. Yeah, see, look at that. So that's with the safety harness there, and then
that was the original one. But
everything
we were showing off
today has not. Yeah,
the toe. Look at the toe movement there. That was. But you said that this toe movement is something that existed before. But boy, that's so cool.
This is the first time we're seeing it really. So it's been hinted at. They talked about the fact that they were going to do it, but we haven't actually seen it in action like this before. And so not only can they do it, but they're actually able to use it in very functional ways and highly dynamic situations. There's a lot of force that's going on here. There's a lot of speed that's involved. And so not only, do they have a toe that can articulate and makes it easier to walk, but they can use it for this much, much more strenuous type of activity.
Yeah, my wife took a look at this. I was showing it to her from afar, and she just kept saying, "That's a human dancing. That's a human dancing." I'm going, "No, you got to look closer." She wouldn't believe me. But let's break down exactly what the big deal was. So this is Milan Kovac, who's in charge of the AI team, Tesla AI team, Optimus Engineering. He's in charge of the whole program. Senior executive at Tesla. He said, "Here's a little more. No cables this time. It's real-time speed, zero CGI, fully learned in simulation, and zero shot transferred to real." So that means that they taught it to dance just through simulation, and then it went out there and started doing it. Zero shot means one time, automatically to real. There's no CGI here. This is real-time speed. What you're looking at is real. He said, besides the fact that it's fun, we had to make significant improvements to our robot model in sim, domain randomization, and other techniques which will directly transfer to more practical situations as well, robust walking and agile full body controls in general. So what they did here, and you'll explain all this, is really the sim, it's a sim program that they created. They are able to now showing you, in this case, one example, dancing, If they show it there, the bot can do it on real life. We also learned quite a few things on our hardware and tuned our power profile. Hope it's getting pretty clear. Tesla is much more than an amazing car company. It's the place to be for transformational real world AI. Zero shot, I'll get you to explain that later. This guy posted this. People think this is real. Ha ha ha. Lots of people in the comments from our yesterday show, and I'm sure today will keep saying you guys are idiots. What you're watching is just CGI. Real Sawyer says, yeah, it is real. And then you keep believing that, bud. And then Elon himself said, it does this every day in our Palo Alto lab. Multiple Optimus robots walk around the office 24/7 with no one watching over them, charging themselves as needed. He also said this is still very far from a final form. And people like James Dama, who's one of the more respected, kind of a machine learning engineers out there, who knows a lot. Actually, he was the guy that kind of like said years before Tesla even thought about it or talked about doing a bot. He said, hey, I think Tesla would be perfectly set up for creating a humanoid robot.
Yep.
He said, oh man, this is awesome. Optimus Locomotion had just made the V11 to V12 transition. This is when FSD made that huge leap. The difference between what you think is good versus what really is really good in full self-driving. They seem to have done the same thing now, where you can basically train a bot. And then I've got a lot of other comments here from other about 5-6 other employees of Tesla AI employees, talking about what they feel like they've delivered. Can you explain a little bit about what Zero Shot and what the sim is? You're on mute.
Sorry about that. So can you repeat the last part?
Yeah, what Zero Shot is and what sim to real.
Yeah, so the thing is that I think maybe a good place to start is with what James Dowma said about this being like a good transition from version 11 to version 12. In version 11 of FSD, there were neural networks that handled lots of different tasks, but they were kind of a patchwork of neural nets, and it wasn't a fully integrated end-to-end neural network that had no like blocks or funky transitions between this neural net kind of does this thing, that neural net kind of does this thing, and then we've got to get information from one to the other. And in version 12, it's just one beautiful end-to-end neural network. And that's what this motion is controlled by, one end-to-end network. And so what that allows them to do now, they can train in simulation. They say, hey, we want a robot that can move like this. And they don't know exactly what controls, how much power do you send to which actuators when, and what are you trying to do? They're not giving it explicit commands like that then they try to make look like this. They're not starting from the commands and working up to the appearance. They're actually saying, we want it to look like this. Now try to move yourself a whole bunch of ways and keep fixing it until the appearance of the movement actually matches what it is that we're trying to see, which is much more how, we ourselves would work as well. And so they do that enough times in simulation, and then they finally figure out, aha, okay, here's the motor controls that I need to send to achieve this type of motion. And now you can imagine that if you do that and your simulation environment, like if you think that the floor is more slippery than it actually is, or if you think it actually has more grip than it actually has, or if the robot that you have loaded into the simulation is not a perfect match for the real world robot that you then put this program on, then it's not going to work. It's going to fall down. And so you have to get everything dialed in, and you have to make the control very robust to different environments, like what if there's a rock on the floor, or these types of things. And so some of the things that Milan mentioned, having adversarial environments, that's what they're talking about, is trying to not only simulate it, but simulate it in lots of different types of conditions to where the robot can actually respond dynamically to whatever conditions that it's seeing in real life and be able to do that. And so the fact that they can do that training, and then they get out a program and they download the program onto the Optimus robot, and that it can do this without any sort of, like, they don't have to do a calibration on the robot, like, oh, it tried it, but then it just didn't quite work, and so we need to fix some parameters to make sure that it doesn't fall down. That is perfect. And every single Optimus robot is going to be slightly different. You're never going to have perfect tolerances. One motor might have a little bit more power than another motor. And so to be able to automatically be able to adjust for all the minor differences in all of the lengths of the parts and all of the powers and torques of the robots, all of that stuff is really like nitty gritty, extremely difficult, laborious engineering work. And they've done all of that. And so that's the accomplishment, that now, like, we just say, this is what we want it to do. Computer, go figure out how to make that happen. Then the computer chugs away for a while. They take that program, they download it into the robot, and it just works seamlessly, hands off, and very. So this is what we need then to be able to go do real actions in the real world that are work. Like, the reason that you want to try dancing, hey, it looks cool, but also this is an extremely challenging task for the robot to do, that if you can do this, then it makes a lot of the other work type tasks that you need to do that are not going to be as interesting to watch. Like, you can be very confident that you can do those tasks now. So
Transfer
that's really, really exciting.
On computer to that. Yeah. So I think people are very confused out there, right? They see a dancing robot and they go, yeah, I've seen Boston Dynamics do this 20 years ago. I saw that 5 months ago. Every Chinese car, robot out there is doing all these
the way that
moves.
Boston Dynamics did it was much, much different. They had to do the software 1.0 type of code.
Yep, they coded it. Move this on 5 inches, and then after that, do this. It was all coded, absolutely. And then people
you could get one video of it working, and you didn't see the 100 other takes that it took to then do that.
How many hours?
So this
hours and hours and hours, And that's the big, I think, the invention here, the big move here is that Tesla's showing you that they've got this system, this real reinforcement learning simulation, and they can now transfer it, whatever they put in that simulation. Now, to do that simulation, by the way, yes, other companies can do this, but they need to have supercomputers. Like NVIDIA has supercomputers, and they're going to do some of this on behalf of other bot companies. But you need to have a significant amount of compute power. This is the Grok definition of.
Yeah, the Chinese companies that are showing off a lot of their demos, I think most of them are using these types of strategies and approaches to doing their dancing robots. One of the distinctions between what those Chinese companies are doing and what Tesla's going to be doing is, because Tesla has not only this AI knowledge in-house and all of their supercompute resources, they're fully vertically integrated. They have all the capabilities with FSD, but they also are the manufacturer. And so as they're trying to develop these techniques to train these robots, they're trying to develop them in such a way that it will support scaling up not only to lots and lots of robots as they produce way more robots, but also scaling up the tasks that they want to do. And so, like, Tesla's going to have a lot better insight in how to commercialize the robot than just about any other humanoid robotics player in the world. And so as they're figuring out how to do this sim to real training, they're also solving the hard engineering problems of doing sim to real training for useful work at scale.
Let's take a look at what the other employees at Tesla AI is saying. There's quite a number of them who came out and they made a lot of posts. Min Sung An said, some more dance moves to share, trained entirely in sim using reinforcement learning, deployed zero shot to the bot. That means once it's simulated in the computer, the system, then they send it to the bot, and the bot does it one time, zero shot. I feel like my mind glitches when I see this happen, but this is real. We do real world AI with Optimus, and these achievements will make it more capable and useful. He is training robots to be better at Tesla Optimus. This guy, Srihara Sampath Kumar, dancing is a hard problem, not just for humans, even for robots. It stresses timing, torque, and latency budgets. Tesla Optimus nails it like a pro dancer with all of the AI inference running on board in real time. That's another point, right? The AI inference running on board in real time. That's one thing that Tesla's bots are much more efficient than any other bots and inference chips out there. Srihara is Tesla AI and Tesla Optimus. Okay, then you've got this guy, Russell Mendonca, Optimus AI Tesla, previously a PhD student at CMU Robotics. I think he's the one that just got hired recently. The sim to real reinforcement learning pipeline we built scales to many different challenging motions. This tech will soon be extended to useful manipulation tasks. That's the point. You're seeing dancing today, but if I can see it do that, it can, like you say, it can water plants. It can do anything. If the body can move in all those things and keep balance, it can iron. Before we all thought that wasn't going to be possible. And then Murtaza Dalal said he's a AI Tesla Optimus Robotics. He said, as promised, the team is crazy fast. Sim to real reinforcement learning is a key to getting next level agile dynamic motions. It's also the key to precision and robustness. Has a lot more cooking. Stay tuned. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things I think we mentioned a little bit yesterday too is this is everything that they're showing us here is the Gen 2 Optimus robot. And so they're working on more advanced stuff. These things that they're showing us, they feel like they can show us because other companies have already demonstrated these types of capabilities. And so they can show us these things without necessarily giving away any of Tesla's secret sauce. And I think, when he says there's a lot more cooking, I think that the likelihood that their Gen 3 Optimus robot and some of their most advanced training techniques that they are doing research on and are evaluating and building out and making much more robust, all that stuff is still happening. I don't think this is necessarily showing us the latest and greatest stuff that Tesla's capable of. I think this is showing us what is safe to show us today because other people have demonstrated something similar.
Yeah. And then I'll just repeat what Elon said earlier today. He replied to this. He said, it does this every day in our Palo Alto lab, and multiple Optimus robots walk around the office 24/7 with no one watching them, charging themselves as needed. This is still very far from our final form. Can you explain that a little bit? Is this bot that we're looking at here, it looks like it's half Gen 2. It looks like Gen 2. If you look at the arms, those are not the Gen 3 arms that they showed us. You can see the cable still sticking out. I don't think they're trying to show us Gen 3.
Yeah, I think that these are Gen 2. Well, I mean, I guess I say that. It depends on how you define the the different generations. This is obviously an update from the ones that kind of did some dancing back when they announced the hands and stuff. But yeah, the forearms, the hands have definitely been updated. There is kind of an updated style that we haven't seen a whole lot of beyond this with the head as well. So yeah, this is these components are the ones that they are willing to show off to the public because it's kind of, we've seen something like this before.
Yeah. And then, yeah, thank you. This is not a sped up. This is 1 times speed. The bot is moving that fast, and it is, it is real time. So anyways, I mean, yes, it's a bot dancing. We've seen many of these before, but I think what
probably better than 99% of the viewers of this channel can dance.
Yeah, the best. It's going to be the best. It's going to be eventually superhuman. There's no doubt in my mind that will be superhuman, better than any human possible soon. But the point being that if it can be taught this way from a simulation to reality, they feel like they've tweaked it. They've got the supercomputers to do this. I'm very confident at this point that they can do, at least a number of tasks that you need to be their useful work. Because there's this race, right, between useful work, like the training, the intelligence
Mhm.
of the bot to be able to do what you want it to do, versus the bot hardware. And Elon himself even said, like, what they've got to time it right. Like, you don't make 10,000 human robots if you only have 2,000 pick and place jobs for it. You need to have
Exactly.
other roles that it can do. And when I see this, that's what I see.
Yeah.
If what they say is true, which is like I show it something on the screen, and then it does it like in this very precise.
I mean, there is definitely going to be time in between. Hey, I want it to do this thing, and then they do have to do the simulation training to get
Right.
it to figure out how to do that thing. So it's not like you just show it and then it's like, oh, I understand what to do, and then it does it. They're not to that stage yet. That is, on the roadmap of things that they'll get to. But when Tesla is attacking this problem, just to go back to, an example would be Figure AI. Brett Adcock has talked at length about, we're just trying to figure out how to make the technology at work. And we know that, when we want to scale up to have super high production, that, that's going to be a hard process. And we'll figure that out when we come to it. Like right now, we're focused on the immediate problems at hand to continue to progress forward with the technology. And that's not really the situation that Tesla is in. They understand exactly what it's going to take to produce these things at scale. And Elon is world class at thinking through what are the implications of, in a complex system of, okay, this part works, that, it's going to require the integration of, you got to get your supply chain right. You've got to get your software right. You've got to get your hardware to work right. Then you've got to be able to make sure that that hardware is easily to manufacture, that you can manufacture it at low costs, that you can scale up this whole thing. And so I guarantee you that right now, during the Tesla Optimus engineering process, that they're thinking about a lot more problems that are going to be down the road that they're solving for today than someone like Figure, who they just don't have the experience yet to be able to correctly anticipate what those problems are. That if they knew them, they might design the robot a little bit differently. And so that's going to take maybe a little extra time at this stage, but it's going to be time that is more than well worth it. And it will prepare this product to reach mass scale much, much faster.
And Jeff Lutz, manufacturing expert, said that the best companies are able to design for manufacturing. That's great. Everybody understand that. But they need to design for quality assurance, design for repairability, right?
Design and supply chain resilience,
right? All these things, and that's what you were just talking about. So that's great. Thank you very much, Hans. I appreciate this. We just got new information here. We just showed you guys a new demo of the Tesla bot. It's not just another dancing bot like everybody's looking at it. It's not a CGI. This is not faked out. This is showing you that the bot can do all of these maneuvers, but more importantly, it's showing you that we've got the platform now to be able to use simulation to then do any kind of tasks. If it can do this kind of task, it can probably do any other task. We didn't see the fingers move, but we saw the toe movement, and it's this automated kind of thing. Yeah.
And that's not, I don't think that's accidental. I kind of made a joking post on X yesterday. I was like, oh, at the end of the dance, the robot didn't do the jazz hands. That's a complete fail on, Tesla's part, like missed opportunity. But they really don't want to show us stuff with the hands, because stuff with the hands is some of the hardest and most important stuff for Optimus to do. And they don't want to give away any of the secret hand sauce. So, we're probably not going to get a whole lot of more insight into that yet. It'll be a little while.
This week has been incredible. Honestly, just at least 3 major news dropped every single day for the last several days here. Elon seems to be back thinking about Tesla, thinking about the future, big ideas. And I think a lot of these things are showing up and coming to fruition now. They're all coming together. In 2 weeks, we're going to have the June robotaxi launch. And then I don't know if you saw this, I'll be doing another show on it. Financial Times is reporting that one of the reasons why Tesla's proxy has not dropped yet and why we've not been told the shareholder meeting, which is supposed to happen in June, is because apparently there's a special committee working on Elon's compensation package. So this is the best outcome, the best reason for why the proxy is delayed, why this shareholder meeting is delayed, is because they're working on his package. This is all perfect. We want him to have a new, compensation package just before all of this drops. It's all coming in the next 6 months. Thank you again, Hans. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye all.